There are more than a few biblical reasons to be a change agent in the lives of those we care about. We are not to control others or try to make them give us what we want, but we do have a responsibility to help people grow and reach their full potential. Dr. Townsend will help us see the value in becoming a change agent. He will also list the difficulties and obstacles we may encounter in this process and challenge us to look at our own motives. Learn how to influence someone to change without infringing on their freedom.
Hi everybody, I'm John Townsend. Welcome to Solutions, where we provide solutions, answers for life issues, relationship issues, career, emotional, spiritual, all areas of life that are important to you. We probably want to provide solutions for questions you don't even have, but maybe you'll have later. We hope that it's helpful, and Henry and I love doing this venue to get information to you. The title of this one is To Be a Change Agent. To be a change agent. In other words, that all of us have a responsibility and an opportunity to help those in our lives to change. We all know we should change. We're supposed to grow and transform and be a healthier person and more loving and more honest and all that good stuff. But some of us have kind of a reservation or a hesitation or a conflict in helping others change. I was talking to an executive in my leadership coaching program that I do about kind of catching up with how she's doing. And she's a wonderful person, has a good business, but her husband, who's also a nice guy, he tends to be a little bit passive. Like, he doesn't take initiative with things. She's always having to say, I want you to be the spiritual leader. Okay. Or we're going to go to church now. Okay. Can we talk about how life is? Sure. What do you want to talk about? And she's always having to come up with the directions for how to raise the kids and how to stay in shape and all that. And she's kind of getting tired of it because nice guy, but just kind of passive. He never takes the first, or rarely, never say never, he rarely takes the first move. And she was saying, this is kind of bugging me because I'm always having to nag him and remind him. And I said, well, yeah, you need to say something to him. This isn't okay. And she goes, no, you trained me differently. And I went, how did I train you? She says, because you taught me don't nag and don't, beat on somebody and don't be codependent with them and let them live their life and let them have freedom. And I went, well, yeah, I believe in all that, but you can preserve someone's freedom and at the same time be a force for good with them and an influence to them. And she goes, well, that sounds like I'm pushing him too hard. I said, maybe I taught this wrong. Maybe you misunderstood this, or maybe it's my fault. I said, no, you can tell someone that you need something or that you desire something while at the same time say you're free not to do that. That's not nagging and that's not controlling them at all. Because I remember I had worked with her on being sort of a control freak. She was kind of like, telling everybody in her life what to do. And I said, this is not you're telling him what to do. You can't make him become an active person. He can stay passive as long as he wants. But you can certainly be an influence from your desire level and your need level. And look at it the way God does. God never says, I'm going to make you mind me, like the parent in the grocery store, I'm going to make you mine. God says, you go to Joshua chapter 24. Choose this day who you're going to serve. You're going to be God, or is it going to be not God? He always gives us a choice. And so you can have desires while at the same time you preserve someone's freedom. So I want to go into some of the benefits of being a change agent, because we really are supposed to be with each other, and then some of the obstacles and some of the skills. And I hope this will be helpful to you. So why do this in the first place? Well, because if you're a control freak, because people in my life are a project, I'm supposed to fix them. No, just joking. That's not true. And people, I love control freaks because, I know they get things done. But if you kind of run around and see people as projects that God has sent you to fix, you're going to have a miserable life and you're going to make them miserable. Bad motivation. The first reason that we need to help people change and grow and be healthier and more loving and all that is for one basic purpose. Our old buddy, love. Because you love them. We're supposed to love each other. That's the highest good that you find in the Bible is love. And if we're talking about your spouse or your kids or your friends or your colleagues at work or your employees or whatever, you want their best. Love means you desire their best. And it means you're seeing something in that person's life that you know is ultimately hurting them. maybe they're a drug addict. And if you love them, you don't want to have this miserable life where they'll die broke and, early and sick and be addicted. Or if they're a card-carrying narcissistic personality disorder, that's not a happy life. I mean, it sounds like it is to them, but inside, narcissists are very empty, and they're very afraid of other people knowing the real person, and they've also got this very bad judge inside them. You don't want that person to go through life like that. You love them. You want them to be a healthy person. If you've got somebody who's kind of like the kid that won't grow up and expects you to change everything for them and take responsibility for their failures, well, you know that nobody's happy just because other people are footing the bill for them. God designed people to be making their own choices and being autonomous and carrying their own cross, and you love them. So one reason is just because you care about people. If you look in Ezekiel chapter 3 and the parallel passage in chapter 33, it says, if you warn the wicked man of his way and he dies in his sin, then his blood is not in your hands. If you fail to warn the wicked man of his way and he dies in his sin, his blood's on your hands. So there's a kind of a duty to warn because you care about people. You don't want them to have a bad life and you don't want to be part of that sick system. What was that great saying that they found that somebody mentioned about what happened in Germany in World War II, that the greatest evil is for good men to do nothing? It really makes sense. You love somebody, you take action, right? Love is doing things. Another one is for growth. We're on the planet to grow in Christ and to grow relationally and in our careers and our health. The design of life was to grow. All the way back from the garden, when God put Adam and Eve there, He said, I want you to subdue and rule this world. Life is about growth. And when you stop growing, you start dying. When I do work with organizations, the research says there's no such thing as an organization that's not growing, being successful. The minute you grow, you die. You've got to keep expanding and changing and doing things because there's no such thing as standing pat. It's the poker term. Standing pat. You're either growing or dying. Same thing is with us. If I'm not doing my exercise, my body starts dying. If I'm not working on my my little brain exercises I do to keep my memory going, I see my memory going away. What was the name of this show? I'm just joking. I don't know the name of the show. But we're designed to grow. And the Bible says we are the agents of growth for each other. We are supposed to be the distributors, the ones who bring this to each other. You look at Ephesians chapter 4, verse 16, one of my favorite passages in the Bible. And Paul says that the body grows itself up in love. Now, that's just a strange and beautiful statement. We grow ourselves up in love. So, we're in the body, we've got these friends, and they're Christian, and we have small groups and conversations and go on trips and love each other and pray for each other and challenge each other and comfort each other. And when that's happening, you are growing that person up sitting across your living room from you, that husband or that wife or that single person, and they're growing you up. And so the body is bringing all the elements. Henry and I call this open system thinking, of this open system that you're not just all by yourself trying to just read and be better and stronger. You're opening up your life to other people who have abilities you don't have and perceptions and insights and experiences and backgrounds you don't have. They are agents as the body grows itself up in love. So that's the second reason that we need to be change agents, is because life is about growth and you can't grow with other people. And so you are part of the process. There's a little pressure here because you're the person that's supposed to help those people in your life to change. And here's another one. Because we all have blind spots. We've all got kind of knuckleheaded things that we have in our life that we don't look at. Maybe you don't know how harsh you sound when you use that sarcastic sense of humor. And you need somebody to say, back off on the sarcasm a bit. You're kind of coming across as a mean person. Blind spot. Or you may come home and find out that you leave your socks over here and you leave undone things over here and you're messy in the kitchen, and whoever is not messy has to say, it's hard to come home and it's kind of like a tornado hit it. Blind spot. I didn't know it, right? Or you may be kind of rigid and sort of like I've got my plan and don't change plans to be 30 minutes later because you have no flexibility. Blind spot. I thought I was just kind of being responsible, but maybe you're too over-controlling. So you may have people in your life that need you to speak to their blind spots. I just had the thought. if you're sort of a control freak, you're kind of going to love this talk because maybe it feels like I'm giving you license to go, confront everybody and change and fix everybody in your life. And just hold your horses there, Mac. It's not about that. It's your job because you care and you're seeing things that hurt them and you're seeing things that they don't see. But this is not supposed to be like unleashing the control freak stuff. Don't be the micromanager of the world. I don't want to get a bunch of bad emails from saying, my husband saw this and now all of our kids are like wearing uniforms and marching. No, I don't want that. So watch out. And also, I think the other part is that because we want relationship. It's really easy to hang around people who are changing, and it's kind of difficult to people who resist change, and everything's got to be the same, and I don't want to look at this, and this is uncomfortable. I have some people that aren't into growth at all, and I love them, but there's some places you can't go.